Okay, so the question that I want to answer today is what fruits and vegetables can I eat to maintain the health of my hair, right? Um, so, with this question, one way to think about it is that one fruit or one vegetable is the solution to my hair growth, right? If I just eat, broccoli for the next 10 days, then my hair is gonna grow like crazy and everything is solved, right? It's the same kind of like thought process as this one product is going to solve all of my hair problems, and I don't have hair problems anymore because now I use, this specific growth oil. But I want to answer it in a different way because the way I understand it is that hair growth is just a process that the body is going through, right? It's just natural. It happens regardless. So if there is nothing stopping your hair from growth, or if there's nothing stopping the body from its natural processes, then your hair will grow just like everything else, right? So I kind of want to answer it in that way instead of here are some specific things to do. I can definitely give you okay, these are specific things to do, but why does it work is because it's part of a process. It's anything that you eat, anything that you take in, as far as like fruits and vegetables, it's helping your body to carry out a natural process. And that's why one thing would work or another thing would work. And I really do love talking about diet because I feel like it's one of the things that is like the easiest thing to kind of like change and experiment with, that will get you like definite results. Like you're gonna feel differently if you try different things with your diet. So I love it as just like something that you can do to test out whether or not something is going to be helpful for your hair or not. So usually whenever we think about how do we get certain results with our hair, you can think about it from the standpoint of like, okay, do I have a good routine, right? So that's going to be the way that you cleanse your hair, shampooing, conditioning, all of that stuff. Is it keeping in the moisture that I've placed into the hair? And then the styling that you do, is the styling beneficial? Like the way that you handle the hair, the way that you treat the hair, is anything that I'm doing with the styling as far as like detangling, combing through it, the styles that I choose, are they breaking the hair? Are they tearing the hair? Am I treating the hair with care, and is it holding on to the moisture that I put into there? So that's going to be the way that you layer the products. That's going to be like the tools that you use, the different types of combs that you use, of course, what type of products that you use, of course, and then what styles that you choose to wear. Some hair likes certain styles and some hair likes a different type of style. So kind of like all of those things are like, if we change up one of these variables, you're going to get a different result with your hair, right? So that would be all external, how do I clean my hair? How do I handle the hair so that, it's not breaking? And then what products do I put on it? What styles do I choose? All of that is on the outside, external. When we're talking about growth, that is an internal process. Your body is growing new hair, right? Everything that's external is how you keep the hair that is grown by the body, right? So it's more of like stewardship, that would be how do you manage, how do you maintain? All of that is like the external processes, and the growth is actually the internal processes. So whenever you think about growth, you want to think about if your hair has enough resources to be able to grow new hair, right? So the hair is like the last thing that the body is going to worry about, because it's not a vital process, right? Your heart has to beat. You have to send electrical signals throughout the body. You have to digest. You have to sleep. Those are like critical processes that the body has to go through every single day, no matter what, right? Hair growth is not one of those vital processes. Nail growth is not one of those vital processes, right? So if something is going wrong, if anything is blocking the body from being able to carry out those natural processes, then if anything is blocking the body from carrying out those natural processes, then it will stop, right? It will not do the extra things to grow hair, right? It will leave it off for another day. So basically it's like, all the checkpoints of vital organs, all the checkpoints of, digestion processes. Can we get, the blood circulating? If it can do all of that, the last thing on the list is going to be hair growth. Knowing that is a great indication of how the rest of your body is doing, right? So when we think about what are we going to eat, fruits and vegetables, what you want to think about is your blood circulation, right? Because that's feeding the hair, that's bringing nutrients onto your scalp, that's bringing nutrients and building blocks to be able to create hair. You want to think about protein as well. So protein is made from amino acids, right? Amino acids are the building blocks that create proteins. So if your body has enough amino acids to then create proteins, it will use those proteins to then create hair, right? It works in a logical sequence. So then also it's the circadian rhythms, right? So your hair, it grows in 3 different phases. We learned this in cosmetology school, but the 3 different phases of the hair is basically when the hair grows out, it starts to grow, and then it holds on for a little bit, and then it lets go, right? So most people think about like the letting go phase of like, my hair is shedding too much, or, different things like that. And so those 3 different phases that are happening, those happen on a rhythm. They work on a cycle. So that would be like your circadian rhythms, and your circadian rhythms are influenced by your endocrine system. And so that's going to be like all of your hormones and everything. So if you have anything that's blocking your hormones from flowing correctly, if you have anything that is making them overproduce, making them underproduce, if they are not in balance, then your hair will not grow properly. The same thing with like the minerals, right? If you don't have enough iron, your hair will not grow properly. There's other minerals also that kind of will affect that. Iron is the one thing that I can think of right now, but there are other minerals that will directly affect whether or not your hair is going to grow to its optimal level of growth, right? So some other things that can get in the way of your hair growth is going to be any type of medications that you're taking. And I'm not saying to not take medication, but what I am saying is that it does make an effect on your hair. You can't say, oh, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna have nothing to do with, whether or not my hair grows or whether or not my hair stops growing. It absolutely does, like, cause and effect. It's inside of the same body, and that body is trying to express hair growth. So you wanna look at what type of medications that you're taking, and learn about them, right? So like, what is this medication trying to solve, and is there another way to solve that problem with or without that medication, right? And thinking about that will get you into the mindset of caring for the body and understanding that the body is one system and every single part of it connects to every other part of it, right? So the hair is just an indication of how well we're doing with all of those. All right, so all of that being said, foods that you can eat that will influence your hair growth, right? I want you to think about digestion, right? So any type of foods that are high water content, these are going to be fruits and vegetables, and specifically green leafy vegetables. Those are going to give you the amino acids that you need and the proteins that you need for correct hair growth, right? They're also going to be anti-inflammatory. So sometimes the hair will stop growing because of stress. Sometimes the hair will stop growing because of poor circulation, like your blood cannot flow correctly. Green leafy vegetables are going to help with any of those. So that would be like spinach. That's going to be kale, of course. Collard greens would be another one. Okay, so green leafy vegetables. I would also put herbs into this category as well. So if you think about like eating basil, if you think about having sage, incorporating sage somehow into your food, and these are fresh green leafy vegetables. So what is it? Rosemary, peppermint, or just mint in general. Finding ways to eat more of these things in like their fresh form. Parsley is another one. One of my mom's like favorite combinations to use, and this is a really good one, like if you just want to get started with like how can I possibly eat more like green leafy vegetables. She takes orange juice and parsley, like just maybe a cup of parsley, some orange juice, places them in a blender together, blends them up, and drinks them. And that one is like a great, it's good for so many different things, and it's good as like just a first place to start if you can't think of any other way that you could possibly get more green leafy vegetables. Second, easy way from there would be like a green smoothie, right? So a green smoothie is going to incorporate both fruits and vegetables at the same time, or the leafy vegetables at the same time. So a very, very simple green smoothie would be if you get a cup of spinach, if you get 1 lime, if you get 1 banana, 1 apple, and some blueberries. Put them all into the blender, blend them up, and then drink that down. You don't have to take out any other part of your diet at the moment. Just add in green smoothies, and that is going to start to balance your body in a way that now you can see what could have possibly been stopping your hair from growing, otherwise it's like if you don't make any of these like attempts, or not even attempts, but if you don't introduce something new and positive into the system, then it makes it difficult to see what other things could possibly be helpful. It's hard to see like where you are kind of like on the scale of healthy to non-healthy. Things are going well, things are not going well. The best way to do that is to make an attempt. So I'm gonna make a second video about this, but this is just the beginning of kind of like the conversation about what do we eat in order to have healthy hair growth.